Hello everybody. Today we are going to have fun enjoying ourselves analyzing the best 10 test innings of a cricketing icon, greatest cricketer, master blaster Sachin Tendulkar. The first best of the lot to come would be the 114 runs that Sachin made against Australia at Perth in 1992. I would rate this as the best because it was in alien conditions in Australia at the age of 19. In arguably the fastest lethal pitch in those days at the Wacker Perth, Australia's quick man would start salivating as soon as their plane crossed into the Western Australia. In 1992, Wacker was at his most lethal, but Tendulkar's innings of 114 at the age of only 19 brought Craig McDermott and Merv Hughes to their knees. With wickets stumbling at the other end, the cricketing legend Sachin met challenges head on. The Australian public have loved him ever since. They had glimpses of the future cricketing superhuman at the tender age of only 19. Tendulkar never looked back after that. He went on to become a cricketing god of a country which is so passionate about the game of cricket. The second best innings would be the 146 runs that Sachin made against South Africa at Cape Town on January 2011. For India, there was Tendulkar taking the innings forward when all others, apart from Gautam Gambhir, failed, relying on strength of his mind, faith in his technique, and little bit of luck. His 146 will rank among his finest hundreds because of the rigorous, stern examinations he passed. Tendulkar was beaten innumerable times by Stein's outswingers and Sotsobe's extra bounce outside the off stump. And Sachin was cut in half repeatedly by Moni Merkel's jagging incurders. But Tendulkar survived when the ball was swinging and attacked the bowlers whenever opportunity arose. His 176 run stand with Gambhir gave India the edge, which vanished once 4 wickets fell for 43 runs. In Harbhajan Singh, Tendulkar found a fighting partner, and that partnership of 76 runs for the 8th wicket once again helped India claw ahead. The third best innings of the legendary Sachin Tendulkar would be the innings of 169 runs he made against South Africa in South Africa at Cape Town in 1997. Another epic encounter was awaiting for the crowd. It was in an hostile conditions. South Africa racked up 529 in the first innings. The Indians were reduced to 58 for 5. Tendulkar, then approaching his peak, wasted no time in taking 5 back to the Proteas. In partnership with Mohammad Azharuddin, Tendulkar blasted 26 boundaries in his century, almost all of them absolute crackers. The fourth best innings by Sachin Tendulkar would, would be the 155 runs not out he made against Australia at Chennai in 1998. Many of Tendulkar's finest innings were played outside of India or in a losing cause, but his greatest series at home came against world's best team and ended in glorious victory for the home side. With Shenwan at his peak, bowling around the wicket into the rough, Tendulkar used his eye, his feet, and his innovative stroke play to destroy the greatest leg spinner in the history of cricket. Vaughan later admitted that Tendulkar's fireworks and innovative stroke play left him clueless. An Australian named Tendulkar as the number one in the list of 50 greatest cricketers. Another great innings by a batting supremo. As we go down further to some of the finest innings by a classy batsman, the fifth best innings would be the 136 runs that Sachin made against Pakistan in Chennai in 1999. India were at an unlikely India were set an unlikely target of 271 runs for victory, which looked almost impossible or at least a daunting task when they collapsed to 82 for the loss of 5 crucial wickets. Chronically hampered by back injury, Tendulkar stood firm and refused to accept defeat. Though dogged with great will and astonishing skill, he coaxed India close to winning line before falling to Sakrimishta. Tendulkar wicket prompted an Indian collapse and another superhuman effort and never say die attitude of a sporting icon came to the fore. Though India lost the match, it was a great innings by the Master Blaster. The sixth best innings, according to me, would be the one of 193 runs that Sachin made against England in England at Leeds in 2002. Dravid, Ganguly and Tendulkar all scored 100 in famous Indian win at Leeds in what was Tendulkar's 99th Test match. This win helped India level series 1-1 against England in alien conditions, continuing the Indian team's upward trend in overseas matches. The seventh best innings would be the 119 runs that Tendulkar made against England at Manchester in 1990. This series will always be remembered for Graham Booth's great innings of 333 in the first test at Lord's. But that was not the only thing. More was yet to come. For 17-year-old playing in alien conditions and under immense pressure, Tendulkar's century at Old Trafford was arguably even more impressive than Graham Booth's achievement. India was struggling to avoid defeat on the final day at 127 for 5, but Tendulkar batted for 4 hours with tail to guide India to safety. It was his first 10th century, confirming the arrival of a special talent. The 8th best innings of Sachin Tendulkar, according to me, would be the innings of 177 runs he made against Australia at Bangalore in 1998. The Australian attack continues to suffer from the genius of Tendulkar, with big turn coming in the third test of the series as well. A second innings collapse saw India lose the test match, but this was a dead rubber with the series already won. Tendulkar had scored a whopping 446 runs in the series, more than 100 clear of the second place Navjot Singh Sidhu. The next best innings of Sachin would be the innings of 116 runs that he made against Australia in Australia at Melbourne in 1999. The captaincy never sat on Tendulkar more than when India toured Australia in 1999-2000. Though he was one of the few bright spots of Indians' dismal performance down under. Test 100 number 22 was a beautifully crafted one, but almost inevitably it was solo effort in a losing cause for the Indian team. Last of my top 10 innings, but not the least, would be the innings of 103 not out against England at Chennai in 2008. Probably most emotional and satisfying of Tendulkar's hundreds. It came weeks after the 2611 terrorist attacks and brought some smiles back to the faces in India. The innings itself was a perfectly crafted one and ended with him getting to his century and India chasing down a target of 387 runs that the Englishmen have set in the fourth innings. Thank you one and all for watching my video on a cricketing superhuman, India's sporting icon Sachin Ramesh Tendulkar. It was my pleasure sharing these videos with great people like you. Thank you once again.